Now the important chemical characteristics we have seen in the previous videos like BOD, COD, TOC, THOD and relative stability. Now in this we are just going to see the other chemical characteristics of wastewater. So we'll give the name other chemical characteristics. See, in the other chemical characteristics, the list includes same as we have studied in the water supply engineering. So in water supply we have seen the same total solids, suspended solids, dissolved solids, pH, chloride content, nitrogen content, sulfate, dissolved oxygen. So this is the same list which is present in the water supply engineering also. So you should first watch that video because the same things are present here. Okay, so we will not be repeating those again. Those values are same as it was there for the wastewater. That means those characteristics are found out by the same method. So let's take the example of DO. So the DO content, that is dissolved oxygen content in any water or any liquid, it is calculated by using the Winkler's method. So during the water supply engineering also we have seen how to calculate that. Same thing will be there, same method will be there for the wastewater also. Okay, so the only different chemical characteristics are BOD, COD, TOC and THOD, and that we have seen in the previous videos. So now you will just quickly recap what are the properties or chemical properties in water. So starting with the first one, so point by point we'll write suspended solids. Suspended solids. Now these are those which remain floating in water. These remain floating in water. Can we see the suspended solids with our naked eye? Yes, we can see this with our naked eye. Now the second one are colloidal solids. Colloidal solids, or we used to call this as colloidal impurities. So what about this? Can we see this with our naked eye? No, we cannot see this. So these are the finely divided solids remaining either in suspension or in solution. So these are finely divided solids remaining in suspension. Remaining in suspension. The next point is after colloidal, dissolved solids. Dissolved solids. So can we see the dissolved solids? No, we cannot we cannot see this because they are dissolved in wastewater, or we can say they are dissolved. So they are dissolved in wastewater. So based on the size, which of these three is largest in size? Suspended, lowest, dissolved. And the range of the size it is given in the water supply engineering video. Okay, so you can read it from there. Now the fourth one is a different one, and this point you have to remember, that is settlable solids. Settlable solids. Now these are the portion of solids which settles out if wastewater is allowed to remain for 2 hours in Imhoff cone. So write down, these are solids which settles out if kept 2 hours in Imhoff cone. So this term is very important here, the Imhoff cone. So this Imhoff cone, it is nothing but it is a cone like filter. So this is a cone like filter, Imhoff cone. The wastewater is added here and it is kept for 2 hours. Now after keeping it for 2 hours, the whatever the solids are present here, That amount of solids are called as settlable solids. Okay. So the next one is inorganic solids. So in inorganic solids, we have sand, gravel, debris, some chlorides, etc. Okay. Then comes the organic solids. So in case of organic solids, it consists of carbohydrates, then fats, oils, proteins, etc. Okay, as this is a wastewater, it consists of each and every waste that is thrown out from industries as well as domestic purposes. Okay, so you will get everything in this sewage. Okay, so the next point here is about pH. pH. So what should be the ideal range for pH for drinking water? You write it in the comment box. We'll see now what is the importance of pH in case of wastewater. See, the alkalinity of fresh wastewater is alkaline. Okay, but as the time passes, but as the time passes, the fresh wastewater gets converted into stale wastewater. It gets converted into stale wastewater, which is acidic in nature. Okay, so you can write it like this only. The fresh wastewater is alkaline, but as the time passes, fresh wastewater get converted into stale wastewater. Okay, and this is acidic process, or this is acidic in nature. Now, why it is getting converted, or what is the reason for getting it into acidic? So it is getting converted because of anaerobic bacterial action. So due to this anaerobic bacterial action, the pH of the wastewater keeps on increasing with the time. Now the last one that we are going to see, it is called as DO. So DO stands for dissolved oxygen. So it is the oxygen required for respiration of aerobic microorganisms. So what is the relation of DO with temperature? This we have seen. So DO is inversely proportional to temperature. That means if temperature increases, DO value decreases. If temperature decreases, DO value increases. So this is the relation of DO with temperature. So this is already covered in the water supply engineering only. Now, so for the survival of fish, DO should be at least 4 ppm. This value is asked in UPSC engineering services exam. Okay, for the survival of fish, what is the required amount of DO in water? So it should be 4 ppm. Now the last point is the method with which we are finding out the DO. So DO is found out by, so which method it is? It is calculated by Winkler's method, same as it is discussed in the water supply engineering. Okay, in that we have discussed this in detail, so you refer the previous videos to get the idea of these chemical properties. So these all chemical properties now, or chemical characteristics of wastewater we have seen. We have also seen the physical characteristics also. Now from the next video we'll go for the treatment of wastewater. Okay, so we have seen the characteristics. Now we have seen the design of sewers also. Now once the wastewater reaches the wastewater treatment plant, then what are the series of operations, what are the unit operations and unit processes that we are going to do on the wastewater, so that the level of toughness of this wastewater is reduced and then finally it is disposed in the source.